Welcome back. We start off this segment in Morocco, where the trade deficit grew 12% to 66.105 billion dirhams in the first 4 months of 2018, compared with same period a year earlier. The gap widened from 59.010 billion dirhams in January-April last year to April last year, as imports rose 9.2% to 158.817 billion. That outstripped a 7.2% increase in total exports to 92.7 billion dirhams from 86.48 billion. The automotive sector topped Morocco's exports with a rise of 19.1% to 23.905 billion dirhams, while exports of phosphates and derivatives fell 4.5% to stand at 13.52 billion. Foreign direct investments dropped 17.1% to 6.765 billion dirhams, down from 8.16 billion in first 4 months of last year. And now to commodities. According to Statista's World Corn Production by Country 2016-2017, Nigeria only produces 7.2 million metric tons of maize, a good chunk of Africa's corn production, but considerably small when compared to USA's corn production, which stands at 384 million metric units. Let's talk more about this commodity with Pamela Basidiuk, research analyst with Financial Derivatives Company. Hello, Pamela. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for coming through to us.
Thank you for having me.
So Nigeria is the continent's largest producer of corn. However, it has a demand gap of 300,000 metric tons. Why is that?
Okay, so we know that corn is a key food crop grown in the world, and we know that it has a wide range of industrial uses in the manufacturing of pharmaceuticals and ethanol. It's also used as an additive in the production of ink, paints, and the likes, and it's also used for human consumption and livestock feed. And we also know that although Nigeria is the largest producer of corn in Africa, it only constitutes 1% of global production, and it has, like you said, it has a demand gap of about 300,000 metric tons. Nigeria has the potential to increase its production, but there are still challenges in place, and this include: one, there's low quality seedlings compared to the ones grown in the US and Australia. Secondly, there's the pest attack and infestation. We know recently at the start of the year there was an army worm attack on corn crops in Nigeria, and then we saw that this reduced crop yield significantly. Then we also have the issue of pricing and smuggling. We know that in Nigeria, imported corn is cheaper than locally produced corn. Why? Because of high cost of production. So all of this have led to the reduction of crop production, as farmers are not encouraged to produce this crop, and they've switched to the production of other crops, food crops in Nigeria.
The global price of corn has increased by 3.74% so far in 2018 and is currently trading at $4.03 per bushel. What is responsible for the price increase?
Yeah, likely global corn prices have increased on average by 4% in 2018, and then it's currently at a high of $4.03 per bushel. And this is just due to poor weather speculations in U.S. growing regions and that of Australia. So what essentially there's drought happening in those regions, which is threatening the crop yield. So there's concerns over thinning supply, and then also in addition, there's also been an increase in demand for this. For corn, as you know, as it's widely used for, has a wide range of industrial uses. So that has also helped in increasing prices.
And how will this price increase affect the performance of consumer goods companies that use this commodity in Nigeria?
Yeah, so corn is majorly used by FMCG companies in Nigeria, as mainly used as an input for the production of their unique products, such as cereals, likes of Nestle using it to produce Golden Morn and Cerelac, and then also used by the brewing industry, that's the likes of Nigerian Breweries and Guinness, for their alcoholic beverages. So they've recently seen that they released their Q1 results, and it had there's a mixed performance from these companies. Generally we saw an improved performance in terms of revenue and profit for the likes of Nestle and Guinness. But on the other hand, we saw a decline in performance for the other brewers, that's the Nigerian brewers and international brewers. So in a sense, if we have an increase in corn prices, this will likely lead to an increase in cost of production for these companies as they use them as raw materials for production, and then it could, in effect, have a negative impact on their profit. But then it's also important for us to note that it's not just the price of corn that would tell on their performance. So we also need to take other factors into consideration, just like the performance of the economy and the likes.
So what is the outlook for corn prices domestically and internationally?
Let's start with the international front. So on the international front, we'll definitely see an increase in prices, probably an average of 7%. Why? Because of persistent bad weathers in the US and Australia. So, and then we'll also see a pickup in demand. In terms of industrial demand, we see a pickup in that, probably by approximately 5%. And we also see a pickup in feed demand as well by approximately 3%. So with this will lead to an increase in prices. But on the domestic front, we need to take into consideration that corn is seasonal. It is seasonal in Nigeria. We're currently in the off-season. And then even if there'll be an increase in prices, we'll probably just see that come into effect in terms of the size of the corn. So instead of, if you normally used to buy, a considerable amount of corn at 100 naira, you probably see you would buy that same buy the corn of 100 naira at a reduced size. So that would likely be the effect domestically and internationally.
All right, thank you very much for your time, Pamela. Pamela Basti-Duke is one of the research analysts with Financial Derivatives Company. Well, information just reaching us says that unidentified gunmen have killed the Ethiopia country manager of Nigeria's Dangote Industries, Mr. Deep Kamara, and 2 other staff in the restive Oromia region on Wednesday. Oromia, which surrounds the capital Addis Ababa, has been plagued by violence for more than 2 years, fueled by a sense of political and economic marginalization amongst its young population. Dangote's cement factory was inaugurated in 2015, and protesters have touched its vehicles at demonstrations. The company has been in negotiations with regional authorities over creating more jobs at the plant. And finally, a quick one. Oil prices hit $80 a barrel today for the first time since November 2014 on concerns Iranian exports could fall, reducing supply in an already tightening market. Brent crude futures briefly hit $80 before pulling back to trade up 57 cents at $79.85 per barrel. And that's the wrap on the show. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Chimeze Obi Iwagu.